Welcome to Experience Shared, your gaming book club. Sarah, that's me, Blythe, Kanny, and Rook agree on a game, play it, get together, and talk about it. You can join the book club too by joining the Discord, bit.ly/EXP Disco. And your opinion, review, or recommendation might make it into the podcast. With that out of the way, let's get on with sharing. Alright, we're recording now.
Mic sounds nice, check 1.
Mic sounds nice, check 1.
Mic sounds nice, check 2.
Everybody got their notebooks?
I didn't take notes.
You didn't take any notes at all?
All I took was rage.
Okay.
Based off of feeling here, not facts.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm here with Kanny, Blythe, and Rook. Introduce yourselves and we'll get started. You just, motioned at the microphone and moved your mouth like you were talking, but no words came out. Was the mic not working, or...?
It was adjusting it.
You're so paranoid.
Okay, well, introduce yourself again.
Okay, hello, I'm Blythe. Hello.
And I'm Kanny. Hello.
I'm Rook. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. Hi, I'm Rook.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was great. I'm Sarah from Sarah's Things, the host with the least. Today we are talking about we're talking about Klonoa, and it's on the PS1. It's what is the developer? Who made this?
Namco.
Namco made.
Send a pipe bomb.
Don't say that. You can't say that out loud. People think that's an actual threat.
This man can hardly wake up.
It's by Namco and Now Production, and we played the first one on the PS1, and it was none of our suggestions really. It's just something that I haven't played before, and I thought we should play it because lots of people talk about it, and it's one of those things where it's like you see everyone talking about it, but no one has actually played it. So I wanted to actually play it and find out. So I did suggest it, but yeah, fuck around and find out. Not because I actually played it myself and wanted to play it again. But yeah, that's it. So, well, Mabel's played the full story. So Mabel, do you want to run down the story? Connie's also played the full story. Did you actually read the dialogue?
Yes, we both beat it. There's
very little dialogue.
Very little dialogue in the first.
Okay, but Connie was skipping the dialogue in the last game.
Do we want to start with the beginning of it? Because
it's not that long. I feel like you can summarize the whole thing in 5 minutes.
I guess. Okay. So in the beginning, basically, it's not really shown, but in the beginning, animation, there's no cutscene. It's just one giant cutscene, and basically finds a ring in the forest that crashes down from space and finds Hupao? I don't know. Hupao? He just says like that, but I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced. Hupao! So we'll have to say it like that every time. Hupao! So Klonoa finds Hupao, and they have fun. They basically are
best friends,
and then eventually Klonoa gets a little, I don't know what to call it, foresight that something bad's gonna happen.
Visions.
Wake up.
A vision.
After having a dream. The dream was a rock coming down and smashing a volcano or something at the top of the mountain.
Well, something came down from the top of the little bell tower. But basically, that starts off the first mission. You go up there and then find out that it's Gadius. That's how you say his name.
Or Gadius.
Gadius.
Egad. Yes.
The main villain of the story has taken the pop idol of the moon, which was referenced by, what's that rabbit's name? The
red one?
Balco.
Oh.
It's funny that you call her a pop idol. I guess she's a pop idol. She's called Diva.
They say idol. Diva. Yeah, Diva.
Yeah, and she sings, and she's the only person we know of that sings in this universe, so I guess she may as well be a pop idol. Her music is the only pop music.
But Gadius captures the Diva of the moon, I think. And then...
What was her name? You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I was testing you.
We see her very little.
But they're looking for something on her, a pendant, and she's dropped it, and basically, you have it now. For some reason, they're looking for the moon pendant. It won't be...
Lafis.
Lafis.
The pop idol's name.
Is the diva's name. I don't know why they call her a diva. It's such a weird thing. But that starts off the story, and basically the game is you do little platformers all the way to the end of the game. It's basically the grandfather of pin jumping, because you have to take the enemies and then use them as a second jump, or third, or fourth.
Midair.
But as it goes on, you
meet a cast of different characters from around the world.
Your grandpa is tasked you to go to Granny after that to talk about the moon pendant.
Granny is not related to you. She's just named Granny, and she's like a village elder sort of thing for a possibly racist depiction of tribal people.
I don't really. It's not. It's goofy looking. It's weird.
But their dialogue text. They oversimplify it and they make them sound stupid.
Yeah, they speak in broken English.
Were they tribal people? I thought they were like chickens or something.
No, they're tribal people. They got tribal paint and stuff on their cheeks.
They're all animal based, I think, because it's
the Phantomillions are rabbit things like Klonoa.
Well, they're all called Phantomillions because the place is called Phantom Isle.
There's rabbity ones. There's little fellers wearing hats, and then there's the tribal people, and those ones are called villagers. I think people call them villagers.
Yeah, they look like chickens, I guess, but basically as you go through it, they're all themed. Like the one was like first area was a windmill village, basically a village on the hill, and then the other one's in a jungle. I should say trees because it's all just trees, not really.
Yeah, it's really trees.
And then you meet Granny. She's been kidnapped by the second antagonist, which is Joka, which is some little dude in a jester outfit.
I'm the Joka, baby.
He's a little ball in a jester outfit, which is kind of adorable. The whole game's adorable, but
non-stop cute.
He's kidnapped Granny, and then is like, okay, bye-bye. He always leaves, like 2 seconds of dialogue leaves, and then
he also tells you how to defeat the bosses every time he comes in.
And then you rescue Granny. You talk about the moon pendant, and Gadius wants it for some reason. That's all you know. But then
Granny spills the beans.
Yeah, Granny spills the beans that
Grandpa has the pendant.
The pendant. Well, they're like, yeah, that's right. Grandpa has the pendant, and then Joka was listening in the background, being like, okay, bye, see you later. I'm gonna go steal the pendant now. So you head back to the village and find Grandpa there, and he waves at you for 2 seconds until he gets orbital beamed from the side.
He waves. He's like, hey, Klonoa, how's it going? And then he walks into his house, and then some ships come by and then fire an orbital cannon into the little hut. A little overkill. And then it's just like everything explodes, and I was like, no, Grandpa!
That did not pick up on the mic on Discord at all. And then you gotta fight the little boss beforehand, which is like a huge dragonfly snake thing. It's weird, but and then you find Grandpa on the ground,
dead as hell.
No, your destiny, go do it, and then dies.
He's like, changed
and they milk it so hard. It is. They have Klonoa, and he sounds sad, and he looks sad, and he's cuddling and holding his dead grandfather in his hands, and he's just like crying and screaming, and I'm like trying not to cry and scream, and it just goes on for way too long. And
it's pretty sad because
eyes were watering at the end.
It's sad because it
doesn't set that kind of pace for the game because everyone's like super cute.
It's super cute, and then it fucking's like Grandpa's dead. It's like But anyways, all right, and then you go up to you ride the little fish woman that you save. The fish.
You didn't talk about the fish woman earlier.
That's right. We were tasked to go to the water village and start the waterfall again because it was in reverse.
Yeah, because you needed to get up to the top of the waterfall to visit Granny.
No, you had to go and start the waterfall in the right direction because the trees were withering in the village.
That was the second stage.
Yeah, that was the second stage,
and then you meet a little fishy kid who's like, "Hey, can you save my mom? I miss my mom." And then Hugh Powell, for like no reason, is like, "Oh, she was probably corrupted by the dark evil Gadius. We should probably just go check that out." She has no reason to believe this. She just knows mom's gone. Let's go check out and see if mom got turned into an evil monster. Mom got turned into an evil monster.
Okay, and then that's basically it. The king of the water village also got corrupted, so you save him, and then takes you to the
the temple,
Soul Sanctum. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a sun temple, so it's like Soul Sanctum.
And the little people there are penguins for some reason. Oddly enough,
they're like penguin nutcrackers or something like that.
Yeah,
they're like soldier,
and they can't fly on their own, so they have these little pet like flying things that look like
little chickens.
Yeah, they look like there's a Yu-Gi-Oh card that they look like the Happy Angel or something like that.
They just look like little wind-up chickens. That's what they look like, with like long feet for some reason. But
so the penguins can't fly, so they enslave other birds to help them fly.
I think they're robots. I don't think they're like, but yeah, they look like little nutcracker penguin soldiers. And so you're tasked to get 4 orbs to open the door. And after ball-bustingly hard, like the difficulty spike from the rest of the game to like the Soul Village is ridiculously hard. And then I don't remember there was anything important in the Soul Sanctum, but they were like, the penguins were like, we were waiting for you. And they're like,
yeah, they're like prophets or something like that. They just know you're coming and they know exactly who you are.
Yeah, and then so you go through it, and then you finally go up to the Moon Kingdom.
Yeah, so Gadius... Or no, you fight Gadius first, don't you?
No, you fight Joker at the end of the temple, and then after you beat Joker, then you do more stages, and then you fight Gadius.
Yeah, you basically, the end of the Soul Temple is where you fight Joker and kill him.
You kill him?
Womp, womp, womp. Yeah, you kill him.
Like straight up dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Good.
Yeah, he's gone. So he's dead, you kill him. Oddly enough, he transforms into like, what are those weird dinosaur things in the water?
Plesiosaur or something like that, but it's not long-necked, it's very short. It looks like a Digimon.
Yeah, he transforms into that for some reason as part of his boss fight. But you go to the Moon Kingdom, and lo and behold, it turns out Xiaopu is the prince of the Moon Kingdom.
Of course, it couldn't just be some random annoying little... It has to be super important.
He actually does not look like that. He doesn't. His little ball form is not what he looks like. He actually is a person in just a costume.
So we're checking off all the tropes: dead grandpa and a secret princess.
Yeah. Well, no, he's a prince.
But the trope is called secret princess.
Well, yeah, I guess, but yes, he's a prince, and they're the Moon Kingdom are just people in costumes. It's very weird. They're just people in white costumes. Honestly, kind of looks.
They're like if like a person was wearing like a Chow costume.
They look like Pink. What's his Joji? Pink guy. They look like Pink guy, but in white spandex is what it looks like. They're just people.
So they look like the Denpa men.
But that's
yeah, they kind of look like Denpa men.
Denpa men, yeah. And then that lo and behold, it's told that Gadius has got the moon pendant and that he's starting the ultimate nightmare to cover the world and basically
as punishment for sentencing him to the Dark Realm.
Yeah. That's when you figure out that he's been captured in this dark realm for however long and has escaped, and now as punishment for that, he's going to throw the world into an ultimate nightmare by using the moon pendant to cause like a nightmare or whatever.
Dude slumbers for 3,000 years, wakes up, kills Klonoa's grandpa. Talk about wrong place, wrong time.
Again. But you go through, again, more ball-bustingly hard platforming to get to the end to fight Gadius, and Gadius's fight is super weird, but basically you beat Gadius, and then Gadius is like, haha, it doesn't matter. But before all that, he calls someone a weird dream. He basically says before the fight that there's a weird dream lingering around, and he doesn't know what it is, but it doesn't matter because
it's all going to be nightmare.
It's all going to be nightmare. And then you kill him, and then it's like, hey, too late. There's already nightmare stuff going on, and for some reason summons a boss, like a weird. I don't know why
it's the nightmare Naha something,
but it's the nightmare in personification, and basically it destroys the planet, and now you are tasked to fight the personified nightmare. And basically at the very end of it, you get swallowed by him as the second form, and then you beat him up on the inside, and then he spits you back out to another thing where you have to do the same thing as you first, which is just feed a bunch of like inflated enemies to the other cannon
sages or whatever.
They're the
so you fight you fight a 3-stage boss fight, and then like what happens after the boss fight?
He dies.
Gadius dies, dead.
Well, no, the nightmare Nahatum.
Yeah, Nahatum is they call it Nahatum.
It's like the ultimate nightmare, essentially.
But basically, you beat him. You get the diva back. You get Blythe, and then it's over. Happy ending.
Seriously, that's it? Happy ending?
No,
just kidding. It's more heartbreak. The entire time you've been in the Moon Kingdom has been very distant from you.
No, it's the whole thing.
No,
right?
It's not the whole thing. As he gets to the Moon Kingdom, as you get to the Soul Kingdom, he becomes a little less talkative to you, and he's more reserved. And then the Moon Kingdom, he doesn't talk to you even more. He kind of sounds even sad. You're not from Klonoa. Is not from Phantom Isle.
No, it's just a dream, right?
It's not a dream. Klonoa has been summoned from another world by Hapu. Hapu implanted fake memories into Klonoa.
So that's not even our grandpa.
That's not our grandpa.
Whoa, what?
That's not our grandpa.
I thought the way Hupao phrased it, though, at the end of the game is it was all a dream, and that you basically were summoned there to take out the nightmare and then go back to your world at the end of it all.
No, it's not a dream. Hapu is from a different world, and Klonoa is from a different world. Klonoa is from a different world, and Hapu lives in Phantom Isle. The dream that Gadius was talking about is Klonoa. That is the weird dream that lives in Phantom Isle.
That's the weird part, is because when you go, because at the end of the game, I don't know if you saw, you get sucked back into...
Yeah, you get sucked back to your world.
Yeah.
Klonoa gets sucked back to his world, and basically he's like, no, that's a lie. That's not true. We'll be friends always. He's like, that's not true. We're gonna go back to playing. It doesn't matter. And Hapu is telling him that, no, you have to go back to your world, because as Lefes sings the song of rebirth to make because everything is still dark and fucked up from the nightmare, she's going to sing the song of rebirth and bring the world back to its regular place. And so as she starts singing and the song starts playing, the song of rebirth is a little big huge, like a black hole opens up to suck Klonoa back to his world, and Hapu is like sitting there trying to ignore it, but then eventually as like it starts to get sucked up, Hapu grabs the ring,
trying to pull you back down.
He's trying to pull him back down, and they're just yelling each other's name, and Klonoa's crying this entire time, and eventually Klonoa slips from the ring and gets sucked back,
and that's how the game ends.
Well, now I really want to play the sequel. Now I want to know what happens. I didn't finish the game, but now I want to play the second one.
But yeah, Klonoa's not from the world. He was implanted with fake memories to care about the world and try to save it.
That's kind of poopy.
That's what Hapu did.
Well, no, see, Hapu did that so then they could save their realm.
Yeah, save Phantom Isle.
But that means Hupao and Klonoa were never actually friends. They never actually played together. So it goes into the whole thing of like, is Klonoa even Klonoa? Is that their identity? Is that something that they can even relate to or treat as real? Should Klonoa have any attachment at all to Hupao if none of that was real? Should Klonoa even be sad at the end? But no, they don't know each other.
And basically as Hupao stands there with the ring in his hand, as the portal closes and everything comes back together as a song of rebirth song, it zooms out to a book, pages in a book, and then it shows like all the images from the game on the book, and then it closes, and then it's like the book says Klonoa, and then it has
your save file name.
Yeah, your save file name on the book.
That's cute.
And that's how it ends. There's also, for some reason, if you save all the Phantomillions, you get a second stage and then a secret.
It's a secret level.
And the secret cutscene is basically between the Balclaw. I forget fucking his name. The elder bunny dude that runs the village.
The first village.
He states in the beginning of the game that he's trying to build this giant tower thing for the diva. So because he likes the diva, and the secret cutscene is Balclaw confessing his feelings to the diva, and the diva's like, Lefes is like, I like you, or I love you, like a friend.
Damn.
And it shows him devastated. Like it does like a little close up of him devastated, and that's the little secret cutscene that you get. It's nothing else, but
the little secret cutscene is we watch a man get friend zoned.
Yeah,
rough. Oof. For an audience of thousands.
It's like,
but that's the story in a nutshell. That's cool.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty good story, and it was short, and it really only gave you story like in between stages, and it's usually like 10-15 lines of dialogue, and that's it. It's nothing long. It's very short. What, Mabel?
Guys break the rules, just drinking.
Yeah, I said no more eating or drinking, because when editing the Golden Sun podcast, y'all got some nasty-ass mouths.
Listen, I behaved, alright?
Also, someone is a bag crinkler when they get food out of their bag.
I haven't done anything.
This one.
Alright, so what did we all think about the graphics?
It's cute.
I like the art style. It's kind of weird with like the little pixel characters on a 3D background.
It's
2D 2.5.
Well, it's like 2.5D. Yeah.
it's kind of like Golden Sun, where
Yeah.
like the characters look like they're 3D, but they're actually just pixel art,
Yeah.
and they're designed in a way to look 3D. But the actual stage and world around is full 3D.
Yeah.
Except it's a side scroller, and you go back and forth between the background and foreground.
Yeah, 2.5.
And some of the enemies are also in 3D, like the bosses.
Yeah, like Joka. Joka's full 3D, I think.
So,
I think all the bosses are
Yeah, I
technically
think they
3D
all are.
polygons, and so
It's a gorgeous game.
it's cute. It's really cute. I wish they kept with the thing, with that kind of, but like expanded on it, because they go full 3D in the second.
Really? Like full 3D, like full 3D range of movement? Or the characters are 3D?
The characters are 3D. They
Okay.
It looks like Sly Cooper is what it looks like old Sly Cooper. That's what the characters look.
That's a series I've never played.
Yeah, I've actually never played those.
You've-
That would actually be something.
I've only seen it on a demo disc.
Yeah, they switch from the sprites to full 3D. Like I mean, the render and the animation style makes them look like they're from Sly, like the people from Sly Cooper like made the models and stuff like that, because they're like not like they're just flat colors. They're not like, they don't have any shading on them or anything like that.
I liked the look of it. I like the look of the stages, the enemies, the characters, all that. That's all I had to say.
So, how far did everyone get? I know Connie and Mabel beat it. What stage did you get to?
The beginning of the second one.
The beginning of the second one? So, Division 2-1. Okay, I thought you only did 1-2 and you didn't even fight a boss. Okay.
No, I beat like the first boss. The first
Okay.
boss was like a cakewalk.
I got to the end of... I got to the boss on set 5, which is Joka.
So yeah,
And then I beat Joka. And I didn't beat Joka. I lost to Joka. Had all my lives were gone because I used them all on the second stage that happens just before it. I fall to my death because he gets a cheap little tap on me from his floating gauntlets. I fall off the map and I get a game over, and it puts me back to the beginning of chapter 5-2 instead of at the beginning of the boss fight where, it would make sense. And so I was like, no, quit and quit. So yeah, the graphics and stuff like that, yeah, it's a really, really pretty game. The opening cutscene is super cute, super bright, super silly. It made me smile as soon as I saw it on. I was like, as soon as it came on, I was like, this is going to be delightful. This is going to be fun. This is going to be adorable. And then I get to playing and I'm like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I should have worn a cup.
Yeah.
it really isn't that bad. From
It is.
I'm telling you, like I don't.
So let's get into gameplay then, since we're here. Gameplay.
Are we rating it or talking?
No, we're talking about it. We're talking about it.
I mean, it's really simple. All you do is jump and like you shoot the wind. Like there's literally 2 buttons, and it repeats the other two, the same inputs for like the other face buttons.
Yeah,
So,
you got A and B, which are both jump, and then you got X and Y, which are both shoot.
yeah. So it's
But
really
the problem is because the buttons are so simplified and they're like multiple interaction based ones, you tend to accidentally click the same one when you didn't mean to click it. Like, for example, the jumping twice while holding an enemy,
Well, if
you'll
you
throw the enemy down.
yeah, if you hold it, you'll throw it.
Yeah, so the basic gameplay of Klonoa is that it's a traditional style side scroller platformer. You can go backwards, you can go forwards on the stage, you can go forwards and backwards in the background or foreground, and then to actually like play the stage, Klonoa has a wind bullet that they fire that's very short range, like very, very short range. It's like arm's reach, and if it hits an enemy, it inflates them big and round, and then you grab them and you hold them above your head, and you can then throw them kind of like Kirby spits enemies out, or you can jump and then jump again, and Klonoa will launch them below them using the momentum of that to jump again. So your double jump requires you to have an enemy in order to do a double jump. And then if you try to do a double jump without an enemy on you, you do a short little flutter thing, and that also is only arm's reach, and it's almost nearly useless. It's only useful so that you can do a wind bullet while you're fluttering in the air. But the majority of the platforming involves the creative uses of that throwing enemy system. Some enemies can only be hurt by having an enemy thrown down them from above. Sometimes you're chaining jumps. Sometimes you're going jump, you're holding an enemy, you jump, you smash them down to jump again, you grab another one while you're in the air, you smash them down again, and you're chaining jumps like that. And it gets very difficult later on. And yeah, the gameplay's cheapness really shines when you're getting into the later parts of the game, because there's multiple points where it's not like Mega Man where the bottom of the stages can be lined with spikes and you take a hit and you gotta go back. Well, I guess older Mega Mans, they were insta-kills. But if you fall off the map, it's flat out death. You don't take a hit and respawn back up on the platform. You die. No matter how much health you have, you die and you go back to the last checkpoint. And the checkpoints are very infrequent. The gameplay is not hard. It is challenging, but it didn't have to be.
Well, you didn't even get to like some of the. I don't know if you ever got to the.
She never got to the Moon Kingdom. They both didn't get to the Moon Kingdom, so.
Yeah, so in the Moon Kingdom, the platforming gets insanely hard. Like, if you're not doing it perfect, you're dying. Like, there's no.
Well, in the Moon Kingdom, there's 3 different jumps that have to be made via using the. Because the first jump is basically little platforms spread throughout the thing. They're like the little platforms that you have to jump on sometimes. And basically, as you get on them, enemies spawn behind you and jump towards you, and then basically pinch you in the middle. So you have to grab one of them as you jump, and then use the second jump off of that to get to the platform, so you can get over them. And then in the second one, it's the same thing. So enemies are coming behind you, but you have to make a chain jump now. So you have to jump, grab a bird, chain jump again, grab it, and then get to the other platform that's, a very long jump. And then I think on the third, I can't remember what it is on the third, but basically...
There's like 5 sections to this last level.
Yeah, there's 5 doors you have to go through.
And the only way to get to a checkpoint is to finish one of those 5, and they're very long, and like...
Yeah, the stages are short up until the end of the game. When you get to the end of the game, then the stages get really long. Like, before it was like in the beginning, it was like 5-10 minute stages, and then it rapidly progresses to like 15 to 30 minute stages.
Sorry.
That reeks. I hate that.
Yeah, and then in between each of those, there's a time puzzle that requires you to use some of the techniques that they taught you throughout the game. And some of them are pretty hard because you also have spike traps that go like this, like they go side to side as you're doing like the chain jumps. So you have to time them on top of doing like hitting the timed buttons really quickly. So like, for example, there was like one that was like way up in the far left. Then you had to jump down, hit one as you're falling, then grab an enemy, chain back, jump back up again, and hit another one in the top right of the screen while there's enemies going like left to right. And you have to do this like within the span of like 3 seconds.
So like previously when I was talking about Wario Land 4, I was talking about how Wario Land 4 has a lot of stuff where it's like the whole game is just an extended tutorial. You're constantly picking up a new thing, learning how it uses, and you're executing that all in one stage. And it never really reaches the point where your skill with those things are ever pushed, because each stage is always a new thing. You never get your skill with the abilities ever pushed to its actual like limits. It never tests you how good you are at those abilities, because all the puzzles stay just mediocre the whole time. Klonoa does not have that problem. Klonoa will teach you how to use all of its stuff, and then it will break your kneecaps until you understand how everything works perfectly and you finish the game.
It'll introduce it very late, and then you use it. You have to be like using it perfectly, otherwise you won't finish it.
So in that sense, I do like that it's designed, it teaches you how to play, and it really challenges you and really pushes you, and it expects I think it expects too much sometimes, but it really does challenge you. It does teach you the mechanics, and it does actually challenge you. So in that sense, I do think that the game is designed well. There's just some things that I think could be tweaked just a little bit to make it a little more, playable for the average person.
The pacing really has an issue, with difficulty.
And they did address some of this stuff in the Wii version of it, but people didn't like it because the Wii version was too easy. Well, that's why things like easy mode and hard mode should exist, because people should be able to choose the experience that they want to.
I think with that, it's this is one era, so this is when games are extremely hard to extend gameplay, and then also
yeah, because you were paying $40-$60 for Klonoa, and then you were getting a 6-hour experience. People didn't think that was really a good deal. People back then mostly rated how much time you got out of a game as to how much value it had. So that's why a lot of people bought RPGs at the time, because RPGs would boast having 30-50 hour stories for $60, which was considered a good deal. Klonoa was very, very short and expected you to be very, very good at the game in order to beat it. You could still beat it in a week.
I beat it in one sitting.
Yeah, you could beat it in one
Like
sitting.
2 sittings.
I did like one set of stages a day because I didn't want to get angry at it.
I played it all the way through and got 4 hours and 30 minutes on it.
All right. So, what was everyone's favorite moments of the game?
I think the ending.
Yeah, the ending was my favorite.
I just like the aesthetic. The whole thing, it's adorable.
The aesthetic is really good.
The characters make cute noises all the time. Every time Klonoa says "Wahoo," my heart brightens like it's like a little beacon. It's like bam! I just explode with light. Wahoo! Wahoo! And then when his grandpa dies, and he goes "Wahoo," and I'm like, no! The good Wahoos! Bring back the good Wahoos!
Charm, his heart.
It's so
broken.
it is like it's such a weird game to be like really cute and then have
Yes, it's deceptively cute.
to have like a really hard platforming and then also B like these weird themes. The second one, I've seen some stuff of the second one. It goes back to the it's so cute and then it's like what the is going on?
Yeah, it's cute, and then it's not when you actually get into the challenging parts of it. It's cute, frustrating, a little scary at times, but it's deceptively cute. It lures you in with cuteness. It's like, hey, come play this fun, cute character platformer with us. Like, this is the cutest character platformer you'll ever see, and then you play it, and it's harder than a lot of the actual like hard character platformers that I played. Like, it's harder than Crash to me. It's harder than Crash for me.
Crash can be pretty hard. It's in that era. Crash was on PlayStation 1, so
Yeah, and like Spyro wasn't hard at all. Spyro's most annoying thing was that you had to collect every single gem to see the true ending. That's not hard. That's just annoying. But is like hard. It's a hard game. And the next game we had on our list was originally going to be Rayman, and after playing Klonoa for a bit, we decided, maybe we shouldn't do another platformer immediately after this.
well, I stated that y'all shouldn't be doing platformers in the first place because especially PS1 platformers are notoriously hard.
Well,
I didn't expect Klonoa to be super hard, but I mean, as I was playing through it, I was like, this is okay. This is not too bad. I'm getting through this pretty easily. And then
It picks up fast.
Soul and Moon were like the hardest. I actually raged on Moon a lot.
all right, Rook, what was your favorite part of the game?
Joke answer, stopping. Real answer, I did like the cutscene, like the rendered cutscene
At the beginning,
very first one.
even though it's like
Cute.
super pixelated.
Yeah, it was just like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
From what I could understand, what I was seeing, it was cute. I liked that. That was nice. And like the little like each enemy you found has like a different hitbox, and it's not just the same like thing over and over and over again.
Yeah,
There's, like,
the
a
enemy variety
variety
gets very
of
weird later.
enemies.
We get flying enemies later. We get enemies that zip from the background to the foreground. We get enemies that have yo-yos they whip around. And yeah, there's no, I hate the yo-yo guys. The yo-yo guys suck. Then you got the like little mage dudes that create like orbiting balls of fire, and you can only get close to them when they spread their fire out, and you gotta jump over their fire and then hit them. Yeah.
I liked the fact that we had a variety of enemies, and it's not just the same thing over and over again, like how most older games are.
Yeah.
That was interesting, even though some of those enemies.
Based off of how it started, I really thought it was going to be more like Kirby, and I'm kind of glad that it wasn't.
I think it has like it's Namco. There's like weird. What is it? Klonoa's hat has Pac-Man on it.
Yeah, that was a funny detail that they did with Klonoa's design. Is it has a Pac-Man hat on.
Yeah, he has a little Pac-Man. He has a hat, a little cap, and then there's like a little medal on it, and it's Pac-Man eating a little pellet for some reason. The little beginning enemies, the little red and yellow ones, are Puka. I think they look like Pukas to me.
I like the Dig Dug Pukas.
Yeah,
All right. What was your most challenging moments, or the moments that you hated?
Moon Kingdom.
Moon Kingdom's really bad. It's really bad.
It's very difficult for no reason at all.
It's 2 boss fights back to back.
It felt like a random difficulty spike, but I think the game was the perfect length. If they tried to put an extra stage or two to make the difficulty more gradual, I don't think it would be a very good game. I think it would be less fun. I think it was the perfect length.
By the time I got to Moon Kingdom, I was like, is this game over yet? Is this game over?
Yeah, see, it drags on in its own ways because of its difficulty. But, like, what specifically did you dislike about it? Because I've got a pretty decent list of things I didn't like about it.
Well, I think the issue is like Moon Kingdom is like the longest levels ever. Like if you think about it, like in terms of like even Soul being kind of long, Moon Kingdom like lengthens. It goes on longer.
It's like 3 times what
The Soul,
the Soul one is.
it's way longer than Soul is because there's a whole lot of backtracking. There is a whole lot of going through the same areas over and over again. It's extended in like the worst ways possible, and then also made super hard with a lot of like short jumps you have to make that end up with, if you mess up, you fall to your death.
Yeah, the game has a lot of that throughout, and the pitfalls are particularly annoying for me because there's a couple occasions where the game has like some enemy placements and stuff like that suggests that maybe you should go into the pitfalls, but then I go into the pitfalls and I die. Like there's this one in particular that has an enemy coming in and out of it. I thought I was supposed to grab the enemy, hop down, and then use a double jump to get to a different area, but I grab him, I walk up the edge, and dead.
Well, I mean, a lot of them come off screen, like the birds do. I think in like 2, the birds come up, and then
I thought all the bosses were pretty decently challenging, but I didn't think any of them were like actually hard. Like I understood and I knew what to do to beat Joka. I just didn't want to play through all of stage 2 again. I didn't play the final bosses though, so I don't know how bad the final bosses are. But
Gadius is basically the arena is a turning circle that either goes that turns clockwise or counterclockwise,
And it'll change at random.
and then there's these little circles in it that if you touch the circles, teleports you outside on top of the circle that's still spinning.
And he spams, or like not an alien, but like
He spams little beams, and when they touch the ground, they
go
arc
around the
towards you.
circle.
They go around towards the circle, and you've got to go back into the little portals that teleport you back inside the circle.
as fast as you can because the thing's spinning like over time while you're in it.
And then as you do, it's not like the same format where the enemies are in the arena like already, so like they don't just jump. He shoots the enemies at you, and you have to grab them and then throw them into him, which is usually behind you.
Yeah, the way this one works with Gadius is his first phase is he throws a mix of like projectiles and then enemies. You have to dodge the projectiles and grab the enemies as they're falling on top of you while also avoiding the little portal things that are on the edge of the ring. You have to basically catch him midair and then throw it at him. And if you're particularly good at like doing all that at the same time, you could get multiple hits in per projectile thing that he throws.
Yeah, he's really quick because I think he's like the shortest bot because like you can just constantly like easily hit him if you can pick up the enemies. But and then the second one is in the second phase he shoots out little chained enemies basically with 2 enemies attached to like a little ball that
The ball part you can't touch
can't
at all.
touch at all. It'll hit you. It's still the same circling thing where there's like the portals. You have to avoid them, and then you have to grab the enemies again.
it's very much a game that you play with save states nowadays. Don't play it normally, play it with save states. Like, if you're doing it for retro achievements for hardcore mode, consider not. Just play it with save states.
I did it with hardcore.
Because the checkpoints are so far apart.
The checkpoints are really bad. I don't know what dictates a checkpoint at all, other than going through a door. But even that is not.
And annoyingly, when you finish the second stage of a zone, you don't go back to the book to save. You just keep going on to the boss, which means when you die at the boss and you lose all your lives, you have to start over at the beginning of the second stage, which is really annoying. If there should be a save point between the second stage and the boss fight. It's ridiculous, especially when you get to the end and the stages are so long. Like having to go through the second stage again is just terrible. It's long and it's so easy to die. There's lots of fire all over the place. There's lava on lots of parts of the stages, and then you have this annoying mechanic where the enemies shift between day mode and night mode, and when they're in night mode, you can't hit them. And you got a ghost following you around the whole time like a boo, except it follows you even when you're looking at it. So you have to turn around and hit it with the wind bullet to stop it for a few seconds. And when it switches to day mode, it takes so long for the enemies to switch out of night mode into day mode that sometimes you just get hit an extra time because you're waiting for them to shift, and they take longer than the stage does to shift for day to night mode, for night to day mode. And yeah, they're just invisible in night mode. And then the game has no iframes. There's no iframes on.
Frames are like the smallest in the world.
You
They're
get, like, a
basically
half.
non-existent.
If
The
you
bosses
hit
get
once-
more iframes than I do.
You get hit once, and then you have half a second, if that, to get away from the thing that's damaging you.
Which
with,
is
like,
messed
particular
up because there's this part where there's like 5 little dudes marching in a row and you can't jump past them. If you slip and fall down there, you got the whole like team running train on you back and forth, locking you in place, bouncing you around where you can't get out of it because there's no place for you to jump out of there. So like it's possible to just get stun locked to death because you have no iframes. It's
insane.
it's a save state game. You have to play it with save states. Like
I'll just say the game is not made for little baby gamers.
it is not.
No, and I'm a little baby gamer.
You
I'm
can-
casual. It's not great.
You can only take 6 hits, which is nothing.
It like bent me over and spanked me. It was so bad.
Some enemies do more than 1 damage, I feel like.
I'm happy that it doesn't require 100% completion to finish it. I would not have played. I probably would have stopped sooner had I found out that if it was like, well, you have to collect all the Phantomillions in the previous stage to unlock the next stage. I would have quit a lot sooner.
I think the worst part of it is you can't go back and do earlier levels to farm up lives
No, not until you beat it the first time.
until you beat it.
That's
So you
cool.
beat all the way through. You can go back and play the levels all over again.
Okay, but that doesn't help me though because I need to farm up lives to do better later.
Well, I think the lives are somewhat generous if you're just not like
You only get 3 if you get a game over. So.
I think by the second 2-2 I had like 7 lives.
Why are the lava pits an insta-kill when just falling off the map is an insta-kill? The lava thing should just be you take damage and you get to hop back out.
Yeah, that's...
What's the point of them existing at all if falling off the map does the same
They're
thing?
not there for too long, I guess. I don't know. I think there's one more lava pit in the Moon Kingdom, which is weird.
The game is perfect for inflation fetishists, though. If you love inflation, there's going to be so much of it. Yes, I wrote that down.
When you hit with a 1 bullet, they'll be inflated. Big and round. Perfect for inflation. Yep, there it is.
The stage doesn't keep up with you as you move, which, like, it does move, but it moves much slower than Klonoa does. So sometimes you'll get an extra hit taken because the map didn't turn quickly enough with you for you to see the enemies on the other side. It's a game that wants you to go slow. Plays better with the D-pad. I had a lot easier time with the D-pad.
Yeah, no, same.
Random precise platforming. There's so many like super tiny platforms that are just barely the size of Klonoa's feet.
Also, you have momentum too,
Yeah, there's momentum. I've slid off platforms.
which is really weird.
Yeah, that's really weird for a platforming game.
But when you do beat a boss, it feels amazing. Like, I get a
Yeah.
big dopamine rush from actually finishing off a boss.
I mean, after I beat Gadius, I was like, please let this game be done. Please let this game...
The more kinder thing is that the final boss is even if you die and lose all your lives, you go back to like the very beginning, and that's of the boss
Beating
fight.
Gadius is like the biggest turning point for that game, because I feel like after you do that, it's more just learning the boss, like, because you have to fight 3 bosses back to back, kinda, and it's really hard, but it doesn't matter if you lose all your lives because you could just restart the whole like thing again. Whereas if you die to Gadius, you have to probably do you have to do like that whole thing all over again?
I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah. If you die to Gadius, you have to do like the whole Moon Kingdom like tower all over again. And that part is like 5 different parts plus the boss, which is absolutely ridiculous if that's how it works.
Yeah, I'd like to try this again, but on the Wii version and see if I could actually play it and handle it on the Wii version. But I don't think I'm going to have us, make another podcast episode just for the Wii version. Mabel's shaking her head now. So, Mabel, what was the part you liked the least?
I mean, overall, I think I just didn't like Moon Kingdom the most. I mean, it's just like the worst parts of the game, honestly.
All right, and Rook, what did you hate the most?
The 0 iframes, honestly.
Yeah,
That really fucked me over a lot. And also, I'm not a huge fan of platformers to begin with.
well,
So it's like...
there's a lot of them.
I
This
am
was-
also one of the least. I dislike platformers. Probably.
I don't like platformers either, but it makes it easy to fill out the list of games that we need to play because we've skipped so many platformers.
This is definitely not baby's first platformer game.
Yeah.
Which is misleading because of how cute it is.
Yeah, I thought it was a cute little game. It's going to be easy.
Yeah.
And then I got my rock.
I thought we were going to have some bright, cute Kirby fun.
Hello?
Yeah, I'll say this, and then immediately someone over here was like, "Yeah, Rayman, let's go Rayman. Rayman PlayStation 1.
I didn't want to play Rayman. I just put that on a list.
Well, yeah, when you don't pick, Connie, one of us picks. And that may result in a game you don't want to play.
The list that I had presented was not for games we should play. That was for me to put onto my emulator. But then Sarah was like, you don't want to do that because then you'll get burnout.
Yeah, you don't want to put too many games on your handheld or else you just won't play any because it's too many games.
But also, I was kind of interested in the series because I had never played it before. But also, I did not know it was a rage platformer.
Yeah, I still want to play Rayman, though. Even if I'm going to hate it, I still want to play it, and no, I hate it.
Because the only one I had ever played before, I think, was Hoodlum's Revenge, and I don't remember much about it.
Isn't that the 2D platformer that's like later?
It's
Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance.
Alright, so what would you change?
Did I change? I don't know.
I'd remove the Moon Kingdom entirely.
I would shorten the Moon Kingdom, even though, like, I know why they probably made it long, because they felt like the entirety of the game wasn't that hard, and that you could just breeze through it, because, I mean, I did, but...
Are we playing the same game? Because what?
You just got bodied by jumps, but...
The earlier levels, while they are hard, I think that you can, like, with some practice, you could do them. Like, this is coming from someone who does not like platforming games, has never, like, really played platforming games. I feel like you could get through some of those earlier levels, Rook, with enough patience and practice, but...
That's just it. I don't have patience for platformers. So it was like setting me up to fail, honestly.
So obviously it's not made for you, but even like if you did have the patience for it, you could probably do it.
I think I could find a platformer that we all enjoy. I think that exists. I think there's one that exists out there.
Maybe character platformers where
Kirby and
yeah, everybody loves Kirby.
Kirby and the Dream Crystals. We could do that for the Nintendo 64 one.
You don't like Kirby? Rook's making faces. They don't like Kirby.
I think we need to have a household decision into who to ban from the island.
Listen, I like Kirby as a character. His games, not so much.
They're easy.
They're also fun.
I hate platformers. I've said this many times. I hate platformers.
What platforming is there? You just mash A, he flies.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
The game plays itself.
Okay.
Yeah, there really isn't any platforming. I think the ones that do platforming most of the time is the stylist-based ones, like Kirby's Yarn Adventure. And
Okay, so what I would change is I would just make the platforming less precise. Like, I don't care if the stages are long or anything like that, as long as the platforming is easy enough that, like, if the stage is short, it can be hard. But if the stage is long, it should be easy as an endurance test. It shouldn't be long and hard, because then you're just getting fucked.
Yeah, Klonoa basically bent me over and didn't use any lube.
I wish the stage select was available from the beginning, because that would allow you more practice with earlier stages and not have you basically stuck in a state where you're always at the hardest part of the game.
Yeah, Klonoa, you learn it or you lose. Learn or lose. There's no bumbling through stages. So, time for ratings.
Why do you keep making us smile?
Ratings. What did everyone think of the graphics on a scale of 10?
oh, 9 out of 10, baby.
Yeah, I'd say like an 8 out of a 10.
It's like an 8 or 9.
5.
You don't like the graphics?
You don't like the graphics?
The graphics were the best part. I'm still giving it a 5.
That's the thing we're rating right now is the graphics.
I know. I know.
We're not rating the game. We're just rating the
I
graphics.
know. I'm giving it a 5.
Connie can't apparently handle that.
No.
No, Klonoa
I'm
Glazer.
more offended by the fact that he doesn't like the graphics. I'm just...
The graphics were great.
We're
but
not
it's still
rating
5.
the game.
I know.
Nix is on the camera.
I'm giving the graphics 5.
Well, you made it sound...
No.
Okay.
Okay, anyway. Sound.
Noah's first playthrough ever.
What do we think of the sound? Music and sound.
That's gotta be an 8. 8 out of 10.
I didn't care for the music so much. I wasn't paying much attention to the music, but I did really like the cute sounds that all the characters made, except Hugh Pow. Hugh Pow, I want to throw into a brick wall. But I would say like 6 or 7. The cute voice acting voice acting, air quotes, does most of the work. Connie,
I'll give it like a 6 or 7.
Rook, and what did you think of the sound?
I'm gonna be honest, it was hard to focus on the sound because I was so seething mad. But from what I do remember,
Gameplay.
I didn't get a rating.
Oh, you didn't give a rating. Okay.
Based on sound.
Based on sound, 6.
Damn, that's crazy.
Gameplay.
Because it was like garbledy. Like it was like
Garbledy.
It
it
was
was
a
like
little.
muffled. Yeah, pretty much.
Gameplay?
Yeah.
Gameplay.
This is based on gameplay now.
Play.
I think a 10 out of 10.
No, you're not. You laughed immediately after you said that.
I think it's like, I mean, it's standard for a platformer. It does what it does well.
It's
I wouldn't
okay.
say it- It's
It's just the stages are too hard for what your kit is. So either the stage needs to be dialed back or the kit needs to be improved. So I'd say it's like 6 or 7.
improve your kid, upgrade your kid.
Kit.
Kid. They said kid.
Yeah.
Mabel's
The kid
like,
sucks.
"Let's make them stronger."
All right, Connie.
I'd definitely say a 5 because by Moon Kingdom I was furious.
All right, and Rook.
0. I hated it.
You can't do 0. It's 1 to 10, not
Fine.
0 to 10.
1.
Okay.
1.
One,
1. 1.
Because I
1.
can't give it 0.
No, you know what? 0.5. 0.5.
All right, and story.
Story?
Bitch, I don't know. I didn't get through stage 2.
10 out of 10.
I think it's 8 out of 10. It's pretty cute.
Yeah, I think it's the best for what it presented itself as. Like they couldn't make the story any better without like jerking us around or wasting our time. So I think it's good for what it is. Also, it made me cry. That's a pretty high score. Just making me cry. So 8.
The diversion is crazy. It's so cute. The horrors of war.
horrors.
The horrors of war.
Yeah, Granddad's body was surprisingly intact for being just hit with an orbital laser, but you know,
He's strong.
And then he
Strongest
was
character in the
like-
game.
not that strong. The orbital laser killed him.
And then he was like, "Change the world." My final message.
I mean, if you can still talk after an orbital laser, I think you're pretty strong. Who would win?
And then
Homeland or
Rook can't
War?
give a rating on the story because Rook didn't play much of the story.
From what I saw, it was like, okay, bad guy wants to take over world.
Someone please.
What do you feel like having heard the story
Having heard the story,
where, you're not from this world, you are, pulled from another dimension and your whole life is essentially a lie in this world? And told that by your best friend that you thought
Rook wasn't listening when Mabel was
No,
talking about the story.
I was listening. Don't put that on me. I was listening.
I forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say?
It's a story.
It's a story.
I forgot what I was going to say. No.
All right. So overall, so do you remember your scores?
Yeah, I remember my score. Also, if anyone listens to this, please, I need y'all to draw Klonoa dunking on Rook. Please do it. I'll pay you big money.
So I think I did 3 7s and an 8, which would mean that my score would be like 7.2, 7.3 out of 10.
Wait, I'm an artist. I can do that.
Would I recommend this to people? No. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone unless you like really hard platformers.
I would
But-
wish this on my worst enemy.
But I personally like the game. I thought it was cute. I had a good time with it. Even though I quit, I had a good time with it. Had I had more time, I probably would have finished it. But I don't recommend it.
The new torch.
And make all the torturees finish by getting all the Phantom Millions and playing the bonus stage.
All right.
They don't.
What's your overall, and do you recommend it?
Overall, it was a 8 or no 9, 8. I forgot, and then
No, you didn't give anything above an 8, so it can't possibly be 9.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. No, I'm saying I'm averaging my stuff that I said. Overall, 7. I think it's a 7.
Yeah, that was about where I was at too. It's like a 7.
So we hated the gameplay, but we liked the game overall still. That's funny.
Yeah.
Except Rook.
Except Rook.
If
The
there's
biggest
no-
Klonoa hater.
If there's no hater in this world, I am dead.
I'm putting a bounty, please. But draw Klonoa dunking on Rook, please.
Yeah, draw
Sure,
Klonoa
that's fine.
dunking on Rook, or like make the basketball Hugh Pow.
Oh, that one. What's it called? The one where it's like
Venom.
dunking
That's what I
someone?
want. That's what I want.
That's what you need. Okay.
I want Klonoa dunking over Rook.
I'm fine with that. I don't
Getting
care
done.
about that.
All right. So would you
Have, like,
recommend it
Klonoa's
to
ball
anyone?
slapping me in the face too. I don't care. I hated it.
I'm pretty sure Klonoa is a child. That's weird.
Yeah, that's a little weird, Rook.
All right.
Whatever.
Canceled on Blue Sky.
All right, Mabel. Would you recommend it to anyone?
No.
Connie.
Watch it on YouTube.
I'm a selfish person.
Yeah, if you want to experience the story and aesthetic, just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then Rook, for sure, definitely not recommending it to anybody.
No, overall, my rating, if I added everything together, 6.5.
That's higher than I thought.
Like, it would be like a 6.5 for like the visuals.
6.5 is still playable.
Yeah.
For the visuals alone.
Okay, so that's gonna do it for this one. The next game, do you want to do do you want to do Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, Connie?
I kind of do, yeah, but I don't know how we're gonna be able to play that.
It's PS2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's PS2.
So the first game was on PS2.
I
Yeah,
didn't know
so
He doesn't know anything about games.
none of the games are on modern consoles because Sony has killed the series off. So
Well, I thought they were all on the PlayStation 3 or something like that.
nah, it's PS2, and most of them are PS2.
It had one on the PS4.
Yeah, I think that was the
Was that like a remake
yeah.
or like a collection?
Yeah, I think it was a collection. It's Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, Sly 2 Band of Thieves, Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves, 2010 was the Sly collection, and then 2013 was Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. So it was PS2, 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 and then PS3, PS3. So Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus for next week?
Sure. I haven't actually played a Sly Cooper game, so
Me neither. It's one of those games where it's like furries recommend it to me all the time.
Yeah.
But like, I guess it can't be that good. It hasn't gotten a sequel in 11 years.
Well, it's because it's finished.
It's finished. Well, I mean, that's never stopped anyone from extending the season of a show. So like, why would it stop video games?
I don't know, but I have.
I think everyone who recommends it to me all says the same thing. I want a Carmelita Fox, and then
yeah, it's straight up furry bait.
yeah, and that's all I know about it is that people want to bang Carmelita.
I've seen more porn of it than I have gameplay of
Yeah.
it.
But that's true of most games nowadays, honestly. I see if we waited 2 days, we would have seen porn of web fishing before we played web fishing.
Before we had played Star Fox games, I had seen more porn of Crystal.
Yeah, you can thank Togepi1125 for that. That's the name of the person who commissions all the macro Fox and Falco art.
Okay.
Or they draw it too, I think. I only know that because of the furry iceberg that I did.
Nice call out, but okay.
Yeah.
They know who they are. They know what they're doing. They've done interviews
Shout
for
out
it.
to this dude.
Shout out to this dude.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks for showing us Falco's skyscraper.
Thank
Yeah, so next one, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. And I will see y'all next time, and everyone else, say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Congrats, y'all. We kept it to just 1 hour and 11 minutes.
I'm starting to realize something. I think Rook hated Klonoa because of all the inflation. I don't think it had to do with any of the gameplay.
No, I hated it because it reeked.
Another funny thing is, while I was editing Golden Sun, I noticed that the things Rook complained about with Golden Sun was things that you just that are just normal in RPGs in general. Like, you were complaining about having to update your equipment and how, like, updating your weapons and armor was too much and overwhelming. That's normal RPG stuff. So do you just not like RPGs besides Pokemon?
Maybe.
Okay, so I'm guessing we're gonna have a lot of point and clicks in our future when it comes to Rook's turn.
Well, how about you suck my dick? You suck my dick.
All right, that's the end of the podcast for real this time. Bye. Thank you to all the patrons and YouTube members. If you want to join them, check them out on patreon.com/Sarah's Things, where you can help support me for just $1. Thanks again to Nat, Selena, Marius, Yini, Worm Syrup, Radiante, Rask, Ver, WildKitty69, Beef, Bait, Sly, Colorado Blue, Vaderson, Linky, Splackjack, and Melting Brick.